Last week, the Rise of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie got released, and to say the very least, it was amazing. But with that being said, I thought it would be a good time to take a look back at the past TMNT movies and rank them from worst to best. Now, this list will be contained of the theatrical release movies, the straight DVD movies, as well as the TV movies. But before we do get started with this video, I would like to hear your opinions on these movies and which one is your favourite and which one's not, as I'm quite interested in hear what one is your favourite and which one's not. I've got a feeling that the 90s movie and the Rise of TMNT movie are going to be quite high up there, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into this one. Let's go! Okay, so the very last one on my list, I got the TMNT 2 sequel to Ooze. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to complain to me about this because saying that it's not that bad and it is way better than it is. But the thing is, because it is more like the 87 TMNT show, it all brings it down quite a lot. Just because I don't really enjoy the 87 TMNT show, but I respect it for what it is, and I do enjoy Turtles from that era. But I feel like using all that in this movie, for me it doesn't really work that well. Not to mention no weapons, and other stuff like that. I mean, no Casey Jones as well. There's like quite a lot of stuff about this movie that really brings it down. And I will enjoy it I will watch it from time to time, but it's not a movie that I'll go out my way to go and watch specifically. Next up on my list, I have the TMNT 3 Tales in Time. Now, I know a lot of people are going to really complain at me and say that TMNT 3 is the worst Turtle movie. And I like to disagree with you in that. I don't think it's really that bad. I know sure that some of the designs and the costumes for the Turtles are bad, but I don't think they're really that bad, considering that the time they were made in, they still look decent and they look realistic and they still hold up today. I would say, I know people really going to complain about that and say that yeah, they are the worst, but oh well. And then also, a few other things which I do really enjoy. I do enjoy the time travel aspect about this movie, as it really I wouldn't say really brings a new aspect to this TMNT franchise, or this movie franchise, and just brings something new to the table, and not just in New York and they're gonna fight the Foot Clan. I do like that it is something new and different and unique, as well as the other thing which I do really enjoy and wish they would have turned this into a movie. It was the modern day Japanese people from the past interacting with Casey Jones. That was just amazing. I wish we could have got a whole movie about that. Sadly we don't, but well, who knows. Maybe one day we might get a full length movie about that. I doubt it, but well, you never know. Next up on my list, I had the 2007 TMNT movie. Now, I love this movie. If it wasn't 2003 Turtles that I was watching at the time, it was this movie. And if it wasn't this movie that I was watching, I was playing the game for this movie. So I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie, and I really wish I could put it high up on the list because of how much I do really enjoy this movie. And unlike the other two movies, I do actually go out of my way to go and watch this movie from time to time. But the thing is, with this movie, and the reason why it's so low on my list, is because of the positives and the negatives. Now, they're basically the same. Let me explain. So, the positives is that it really focuses on Leo and Raph's relationship, and that works really well for the story, and it brings new aspect to the movie and the story, which I do really enjoy. However, the downside to this is the fact that they sideline every other character. Mikey, Donnie, Splinter, the bad guys, all the major characters that should have more screen time and more relationship stuff, or that. Now, the downside to this is the fact that they sideline every other character in this movie, and that is a really big disappointing factor for this movie. It's like Donnie, Mikey are two of the biggest characters within this movie, and yet they're still sidelined to basically minor characters. Now, had this movie got more sequels and actually developed on Mikey and Donnie's relationship, I do feel like this movie would not have been as bad and could possibly been high up on the list. But I do feel like just because, I'm just basing off this one movie alone, and because of it just focusing on Raph and Leo's relationship, it does bring it down quite a bit, and that is really unfortunate for me because I really wish I could put it so much higher up on the list. Okay, next up we've got the TMNT Hardshell Heroes Blast in the Past. This movie is okay. I do think it's much better than the other ones, which I've already talked about before. And there's something about this movie which I do think works really well, because I enjoy 2012 Tolls, but not as much as other people. I do feel, and also like one of the biggest things which I've got a problem with that with 2012 is their comedy. But this movie, for some reason, it works really well for some reason, and it works really well for this movie for some reason. Not exactly too sure why, but yeah. And then like the story itself is like a pretty plain, basic, simple one, but it works really well as well. Where like Tells go back in time, stop the bad guys, and try to return home, and they do. I mean, like, you know, it's just a pretty basic, simple story, but it works really well for this movie. Okay, so next up it is Out of the Shadows, and yeah, this is really disappointing because I really wanted to put this one higher than the 2014 movie, but the thing is that for some reason it feels better to rank this one behind 2014 movie, even though this movie is so much better than the 2014 movie. Now, in this movie, there was some really good stuff. We got Being Rocksteady for the first time. We got Krang, like all in live action form. That was amazing. And I do feel like the costumes here that Tells wear, they were so much better. Leo's design, oh my god, that is perfect for him. But yeah, as I said before, I'm not exactly too sure why I can't place this one higher than the 2014 movie. But for some reason, it feels right to put the place behind that. And there are like really good moments within this movie. The Being Rocksteady fight with the turtles, that's amazing. Turtles vs Krang. There's like so many good things about this movie, but again, it just feels more natural and right to put this movie behind the 2014 one for some reason. Okay, next up is the 2014 movie, and yeah, I do really enjoy this movie. I do, for some reason, this movie feels like tonally better than the than Out of Shadows movie, but for some reason I also feel like I need to put this one like first before Out of Shadows. I can't exactly explain why, but yeah, I do think that this movie is so much fun. I know that people do hate it, and there's like loads of people do have a lot of problems with it, but I do think this movie is quite interesting. I really enjoyed the lair fight scene, that was really amazing. What else was there that was good? The Shredder and Tails fight, all of them, they were amazing. I just think there was like so much really good elements within this movie that I do feel like some scenes do probably get lost in translation for me, and probably do bring this movie down a bit. I can't exactly say what exact scenes, but like there are a few scenes which say like, oh yeah, maybe this movie is not as good as it could be, but this movie is still really fun and really good. I would definitely recommend watching it for from a different point of view. I'm not exactly too sure how you could, but like, just try, because this movie is really fun and really good. I just think that people maybe getting caught up with it being like not the 90s Turtles and stuff like that. But if you do look at it beyond that, you do have a really good fun movie. Okay, now speaking of fun movies, the next one we have is Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And oh boy, is this movie amazing. I never would have thought we would ever get a Batman vs TMNT movie, ever, let alone a Batman TMNT crossover comic. But here we are, and oh my god, is it amazing. It is every good as the comic book, if not better. Batman saying cowabunga, there's blood, I mean, oh my god, this movie is so much fun. I don't think I can put it into words as how much fun this movie is, and if it is just going to be a one-shot movie, then it's perfect the way it is. But if they do decide to do a sequel or another or a few more, then I'll not be against it, as this movie was a blast to watch. And I feel like this is like a really good one for both like teams. Like if you're a big Batman fan, you're gonna enjoy it. If you're a big TMNT fan, you're gonna enjoy it. If you're a fan of both, then you're just gonna have a blast with both things. It is just amazing. Now next up on the list, which is the most recent TMNT movie, which is The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my god, where do I begin with this movie? Yeah, I'm not too sure where to begin, like, because I love this movie. There's so much good things about it. The animation is perfect. The story I feel like could be better, but is really good story overall. You got the voice acting. Again, that's really amazing. And I feel like this movie has so much going for it for being like a really good, enjoyable movie. There's like so much we're gonna be like, oh my god, there's just so much within this movie that you will enjoy. And I feel like that's probably the reason why I enjoy it quite a lot, is because there's just like so much that happens, but it feels natural and just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, wow, 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 wow. Yeah, so that's that should say a lot about this movie. Okay, for number 2 and number 1, it can sort of be switched between the two, depending on what's happening in my life at the moment, or at the time, depending on how I'm feeling, what mood I'm in, and stuff like that. Now, it is either going to be the 1990 TMNT movie, or Toys Forever. Now, I'm going to go over the reason why I enjoy 90s movie, and yeah. So, 90s movie, I enjoy it so much. I think it is a true masterpiece. The costumes, the action, the story, there is so much. This movie is almost perfect. I mean, of course, there are like certain things which you could change, but I feel like that's more just. I mean, that's more down to it being in that like time zone where like maybe the costumes, like even though they're perfect, there are definitely some problems with it. Well, basically the mouse don't move with the the mouse don't move with how the people are speaking. It always feels like an anime dub sort of thing, but like there's like only like a few minor things like that. But if it wasn't for that, then this movie would be number 1. But also, I would say that because I don't really have like much of an emotional or nostalgic connection with these characters, even though I did grow up with this movie, but I didn't grow up with, like when this movie was coming out, so I can't be like, oh yeah, this is my favourite one. Even though I really do enjoy it for how amazing it is, and like from time to time, this movie is I would say it is my favourite movie. But sometimes I'll say it's number 2, but like the difference between my number 1 spot and the number 2 spot is barely anything really. So for the other movie, which I would say for number 1, which is Toys Forever, I mean, do we really need to say anything else other than it's the 2003 Toys? The 2003 Toys is my favourite version of Turtles. I really do enjoy them quite a lot. They are my favourite version of Turtles. And I feel like this is a really good wrap-up movie for this universe, as well as being a really good crossover movie, as well as being like a really good way to show off everything about the whole universe and like the franchise and everything that is built up. And it's almost like a love letter to the fans. I know that people do have like complaints about this movie with like the 80s Toys being like bad and all that. I mean, yeah, sure, I do have those problems as well, but like I can look past that and still see an amazing love letter to the fans. It's amazing. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I would like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below about which movie is your favourite and which one's not. But other than that, yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do love this one, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.